Welcome to Brainpower Factory. My name is Luke, and today we're going to talk about Egyptian mythology. This is lesson number 3 out of the 4 that we're going to do this week. And today we have an introduction, and in the presentation we're going to talk about the Egyptian pyramids, and then an extra task that I will explain later. What do we need today? During the lesson, there's nothing. We're just going to listen, we're just going to wait and see, and you'll see. And then, as an extra task, any material that you can find. It's a bit cryptic, but it's okay. You will understand later. So, pyramids. As you may see, these are the Great Pyramids of Giza. And they have a very rich history. And I'm going to tell you some information about it. I'm going to read you something about it. And as you actually can see, there are 3 big ones. Those are the newer pyramids. And these 2, and then another one here, these are the older ones. They're a bit different, but they're still very special. And I'm going to read you a story about that. But first, can you think about it yourself? What is the function of a pyramid? Why are they built? How are they built? Just all those questions, think about it. Think about it and write them down if you want. And also think about the answers, instead of just only the questions. Because with only questions, you get nowhere. So, think about it for a second. Just pause the video, and then we'll go right back further. Well, it's story time. See you in the chair. I'm now going to read a piece of text to you about the pyramids. That might answer some of your questions that you could have. At least the questions that I had when I was reading it. So, the ancient Egyptian pyramids are some of the most impressive structures built by humans in ancient times. Many of the pyramids still survive today for us to see and explore. So, why did they build the pyramids? That's the most obvious question, I think. The pyramids were built as burial places and monuments to the pharaohs. As part of their religion, the Egyptians believed that a pharaoh needed certain things to succeed in the afterlife. Deep inside the pyramid, the pharaoh would be buried with all sorts of items and treasure that he may need to survive in the afterlife. There are also different types of pyramids. Some of the earlier types, called step pyramids, have large ledges every so often that look like giant steps. I made a small drawing of it. I don't know if it's very good visible. It kind of looks like a cake. It's very small. And this is like the more normal one, which is a lot smoother. This was created because archaeologists think that the steps were built as stairways for Pharaoh to use to climb to the sun world. But these are the earlier versions, so later they got bigger and got smooth again. So later pyramids have more sloping and flat sides. These pyramids represent a mound that emerged at the beginning of time. A mound is like a pile of something, like a pile of stones, of earth, potatoes, anything. And the sun god stood on the mound and created the other gods and goddesses. And that's why the mound is very important as inspiration for the pyramids. How big were the pyramids? How many do you think there are? There are 138 Egyptian pyramids. Some of them are huge, like the most famous one, the pyramids of Giza. The largest is the pyramid of Khufu, also known as the Great Pyramid of Giza. When it was first built, it was over 127 meters tall. In America, you would say 480 feet. It was the tallest man-made structure for over 3,800 years, and is one of the 7 wonders of the world. It's estimated that this pyramid was made from 2.3 million blocks of rock, and it weighs 5.9 million tons. That's a lot of elephants. So how did they build them? How the pyramids were built was a big mystery that archaeologists have been trying to solve for many years. It is believed that thousands of slaves were used to cut up the large blocks and then slowly move them up the pyramids on ramps. A ramp is something that you put on a lower piece and a higher piece, and then you have like a plank or something, so you can get it up smoothly, also to go down smooth. The pyramid would get slowly built, one block at a time. Scientists estimated that it took at least 20,000 workers over 23 years to build the Great Pyramid of Giza, because it took so long to build them. Pharaohs generally started the construction of their pyramids as soon as they became the ruler. So that's weird, because when they became king of Egypt, they already started to build their own grave. That's weird, right? But very smart, because then they don't have to wait at the end. But then the question is, what is inside the pyramid? Deep inside the pyramids lay the pharaoh's burial chamber, which would be filled with treasure and items for the pharaoh to use in the afterlife. The walls were often covered with carvings and paintings. Near the pharaoh's chamber would be other rooms where family members and servants were buried. There were often small rooms that acted as temples and larger rooms for storage. Narrow passageways led to the other side. I will show you a map later of what it looks like on the inside, to have a bit more visionary. Sometimes fake burial chambers of passages would be used to try and trick grave robbers. Because there was such valuable treasure buried within the pyramid, grave robbers would try to break in and steal the treasure. But despite all the efforts that the Egyptians did, nearly all of the pyramids were robbed of their treasures 1,000 years before zero. So there's a lot of information about the pyramids, and I will put a link to the story in the description, so you can read it over if you want, because otherwise there's a lot to take in. As you may have noticed, Crispy is dressed for the occasion, our little mummy for today. And let's go back to the lesson, right? See you soon! That was an interesting story, right? I actually learned a lot about it. I think the history about the Egyptians and the pyramids is just fascinating. So, here are some photos and images to give some more information, to visualize it, what you're thinking now. This is actually one of the passageways that you can see here, the shafts, they're called on the image. And there are a lot of them, and they are connecting the different chambers. And this is, for example, the burial chamber, with a lot of hieroglyphs and drawings of the gods, and your stories. And here is where you would find the pharaoh, the mummy, which is not in here for now, but it's supposed to be there. So you can see here the roads, the shafts to the king's chamber, and here to the queen's chamber. They have different shafts, which is pretty interesting. And also the escape shaft down in case of robbery, and other shafts to the subterranean chamber. And now we're gonna think about 3 questions that you can always ask yourself at the end of reading informal text. The questions are: what did you know already? What was new to you? And what surprised you? These 3 questions, they make you evaluate, reflect, they make you think about what you just read, the new information, because if you just read it and go on with your life, you forget it. And there might be one thing that stays in your head, but the rest is just gone. It's not important. But if you answer the questions, what did you already know, what was new to you, and what surprised you, if you really answer them and really think about what happened in the story and where you would place the information that you have, then you are going to remember it more. And that's how you can also learn for tests or something, you know? Just really think about what you're reading. That's why they were made. So, now I'm going to explain an extra task, and it's a really fun one. You're going to build your own pyramid. Elena and I already did it. It was very poorly done, because we were in a time rush. But yeah, this is, for example, how you can build a pyramid. You just have a base. Could be, the base is always, as you can see, a square. 4 sides equal. And then it's made out of 4 triangles. Sorry, I couldn't remember the words. And then I have here, on this side, made a drawing of what the inside looks like. Here you can actually see the king's chamber, the queen's chamber, the passageways, and the underground chamber. You can do this, you don't have to, but it could give an extra dimension. And yeah, if you did it, please make a photo and send it to the email and the link down below. Because then Elena and I can see what you did, and we'd love to see that. So, I will see you next time, and have a lot of fun making a nice pyramid. Bye bye!